Muchachos y muchachas. So the weird situation with Anne Heche's bizarre accident made me immediately think back to Paul Walker. Whatever happened to that? It just kind of faded away from the headlines with a lot of mystery. And as you would have it, with a lot of mystery, it leads to a lot more questions than we do have answers. And that type of formula tends to lead to a lot of speculation and conspiracy forming. Well, like I say, or I have been saying on this channel, things are already weird with these situations. We don't have to add on to it. The details are sitting there looking at us in the face. So why not just explore that? Like, say, an additional witness account to his accident that never made the police report, although he talked to the police. And was there a parade of cars behind Roger Rodas and Paul Walker as they were racing down or speeding down the parkway? There's a lot that shook me in doing a little bit of research on this. Stay right there. We're going to go through it. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Ageless Glow. As you guys know, I've been using this stuff for over a year now, and I absolutely love it in multiple regimens, either in my skincare or right before makeup as a primer. This stuff is an anti-aging serum, and it rejuvenates and reaffirms your skin really smooth, and it feels wonderful. You guys can get it at glowwithnatalie.com. On November 30th, 2013, actor Paul Walker, the star of the Fast and Furious film franchise, ironically died in a car accident in Santa Clarita, California. Walker was a passenger in a Porsche Carrera GT driven by his friend Roger Rodas. While driving, Rodas hit a light pole, causing the car to burst into flames, leading to both his and Walker's deaths. How in the world did that happen? Roger Rodas was a professional race car driver. They were at a fundraiser and a toy drive for Paul's Reach Out Worldwide nonprofit. They left in a Porsche to be expected to come back to the event, only foreseeing that they were going for a ride around the parkway to return. Only moments later after leaving, tragedy unfolded.
Let's get straight to the breaking news out of Hollywood this morning.
Yeah, Paul Walker, one of the stars of the enormously popular Fast and Furious movies, dead in a car crash. The accident scene tells the story. There it is.
Paul Walker's death has been subjected to numerous conspiracy theories in the years since. Countless details about the accident and the events surrounding it have been questioned by a lot of people on the internet space. This questioning has led to the development of a few theories about what exactly happened to Paul Walker. I think one of the most prominent, which was through various directions, was not exactly definite, but it alluded to him finding something out through his nonprofit, Reach Out Worldwide. Reach Out Worldwide is a 501c3 registered nonprofit founded in 2010 by Paul Walker that helps bring first responders to disaster areas to augment local relief efforts. Their teams typically consist of medical technicians, doctors, nurses, paramedics, firefighters, and construction workers. The group's goal is to airdrop into disaster zones the minute the news hits the wires. Paul Walker's brother, Cody Walker, is the current chief executive officer of Reach Out Worldwide. Paul Walker organized the relief team in response to the 2010 Haiti earthquake, and following their return, he founded Reach Out Worldwide to help fill the gap between available resources and the requirement for personnel in post-disaster situations. So, was there something to this? Did Paul Walker find some dirt on upper echelon elitists that say they're helping a disaster, whilst in reality they're doing something much more nefarious? Answer is, I don't know. I can neither confirm or deny it. I couldn't find anything other than aimless forum posts without source citing, statements, documentation, interviews, or even conversations had by Paul Walker to corroborate that. But what do I say? These events are already weird. We don't need to add on or fabricate anything extra without the sauce to know that something was really off. The coroner's report said Walker died of the combined effects of traumatic and thermal injuries, while Rodas, the driver, died of multiple traumatic injuries. No drugs or alcohol were detected in either men. Christy McCracken, the investigator for the Los Angeles coroner, described how the car was driving at an unsafe speed in an easterly direction. Quoted by her, "For an unknown reason, the driver lost control of the vehicle and the vehicle partially spun around and began to travel in a southeasterly direction. The vehicle then struck a sidewalk and the driver's side struck a tree and then a light post. The force of these collisions caused the vehicle to spin 180 degrees and it continued to travel in an easterly direction. The passenger side of the vehicle then struck a tree and then burst into flames." The coroner said the Porsche was found totaled with major traffic collision damage all around, and it appeared that the vehicle was almost split in half. The report found no evidence of foul play. Well, even given the report details coming from the coroner and the investigator, it still doesn't answer a lot of questions, because even there was some peppered mystery into that. But I want to kind of re-examine some components of this. For instance, there were two surveillance angles that were shown in the media, angles in which we really still don't get additional clarification about the scene. In exploring more about Paul Walker and Roger Rodas' accident, I dug for more context. This is it. This is just a comprised witness statement of multiple or what? And just two surveillance footage pieces? It was until I learned that there was an additional witness that day, Abe Rodriguez. Abe Rodriguez was a seasoned bus driver that drove the same route that Paul and Roger lost control on for years, so he knew the streets pretty well. You hear additional witness, and you might roll your eyes and say, yeah, okay, until you see that Abe kept his phone rolling with recording the scene.
We're coming up on the scene of a car fire. Apparently these idiots are out here street racing and somebody bit the dust. Hopefully nobody's hurt. If you can see the wreckage, it looks real bad, like the tree hit the passenger door. Got an ambulance here. There's a guy over here crying. He's a mature male, like 35 years old. Man, that's a pretty good sign. Maybe his buddy's in there. But you can see the car's wrapped around a little skinny tree. The skinny tree's about 6 inches or so. Yeah, I'm on the beds. What we got is 2 dead. 2 dead from street racing.
That's fine. Just don't walk amongst the debris.
All right.
What were they doing? Were they racing?
They were all together, and all of a sudden, 10 seconds later,
What were they doing? Were they racing?
they were all together, and all of a sudden,
In fact, Abe Rodriguez uploaded this footage to YouTube, where it still exists today, some with under 1,000 views. Abe Rodriguez did an interview with Reelz TV on a show series called Collision Course, where they explore and investigate celebrity tragedies ended by transportation vehicles such as plane and car. In this interview, Abe recounts that he witnessed the Porsche Roger Rodas was driving with Paul Walker as a passenger, and although he was more focused on the car, being an avid car fanatic himself, he also recounts that he saw a parade of cars driving right behind them, of course, just cruising. Abe was going a sort of opposite direction. He turned the corner to park at what I think was like a fuel station. It's right at the intersection of Constellation and Alta Vista Avenue. And right when he parked, he recounts hearing a bunch of engines revving in the background at a distance. And at the angle that he parked, he saw a plume of smoke from an angle, and he called into 911 along with others who called in nearby. He alleges that he gave the police officer on scene his witness testimony only to not have it recorded as a statement. Why? If this is true, I wonder why the police wouldn't take his witness account. One thing that I also find curious about what he said, this indeed is an area of Santa Clarita, California that is very commercial industrial, which, as in any area like this anywhere, would have a plethora of surveillance cameras all around. And yet somehow only 2 angles were exhibited in the media. The 2 angles, of course, are some of the most obstructed angles. Alongside that question, let me remind you of this footage.
Pull over. We don't, but we came from the same area.
Is that, what car is that?
Ferrari, dude.
Dude, go away, it's gonna blow up.
Dude, the guy's in there.
He died. Go! Drive away, it's gonna blow up. Drive away. Drive over there.
No, we're fine here. It's not gonna.
Dude.
Oh shit.
Don't get him out. Get away, it's gonna blow up. It might blow up. Just.
I can't, and the car is in half. I can't tell if there's someone in there.
Someone, he's dead.
Yes, there is someone in there. And I'm sorry, what was the question?
The parade of cars would have been right behind these people who were passing by. I want to know what happened between this footage ending and the parade of cars arriving on scene, as this surveillance footage shows that they were heading that direction. Okay, I had to include this part. Back in that episode of Collision Course by Reelz TV, they included footage of one of Paul Walker's friends with a fire extinguisher trying to put out the flames of the crash. Now, I went to try to find this reported in the media, and of course, TMZ was one of the only ones to report this, okay? You guys know my suspicions of TMZ and their, I don't know, you guys know. You know the creepies and the funnies that I get with TMZ. Look at the URL. I just want you guys to see everything that I am reporting here. It says here that Paul Walker's crash, cops wrestled friend away from burning car. Photo, exclusive. And then as you scroll down, media removed. So sorry, we don't own everything, but there's always something new at TMZ. Now, of course, as you would have it, I had to go and try to find an archived version of this, and I found it. So this is the archived version where it says, Paul Walker crash, cops wrestled friend away from burning car. And this is the media they had to remove. This was the friend. He was being, dragged away from the scene. And this would be a fire extinguisher in his arm.
There's a guy over here crying. He's a mature male, like 35 years old. And that's a pretty good sign. I mean, his buddy's in there.
But just hold on to your pants. Hold on to your butt, because it's about to get really weird. And this is conflicting by the part of TMZ, which I find very eerie. This is what they reported. This is the dramatic moment when a cop had to physically wrestle one of Paul Walker's friends away from the crash scene. Seconds after it became clear Paul could not be saved. TMZ broke the story. Paul's friends rush to the scene, plural. Paul's friends rushed to the scene. Even one grabbed a fire extinguisher and desperately tried to extinguish the flames. When the fire department arrived, they tried to pull Paul's friends away. One of Paul's longtime friends, a guy named Newt, was so overwrought with emotion, he punched a firefighter. We are told sheriff's deputies put Newt and several other of Paul's friends in custody, but let them go when they realized the circumstances. Cops now believe Paul and the driver of the Porsche may have been in a street race with another car at the time of the crash and are looking for footage and witnesses. Interesting. What did Abe Rodriguez give his witness statement about? He said that he thought, based on what he saw with the parade of cars behind him, that they were probably about to race. Okay? So it gets even weirder. So this article is from mirror.co.uk. Guys, see the URL at the top. Now, they, of course, report on this, but they are citing TMZ's account, in which you're going to see how weird this gets. Paul Walker dead. Friend describes how he battled in vain to free film star from fireball car wreck. Okay, let's get into it. Friends of tragic Hollywood star Paul Walker have described how they battled to save the trapped actor from the car wreck inferno. Antonio Holmes and pals desperately tried to put out the raging flames using fire extinguishers. They risked their own lives by attempting to try to reach into the burning car and undo Paul Walker's seatbelt so they could pull him out. It keeps getting weirder. As I was editing that piece, I got curious to go back to this link to see where it took me, and I'm gonna click it. I'm not gonna open it up in a new tab. I'm just gonna click it. It leads to a removed article. This article is removed as well. They risked their own lives by attempting to reach into the burning car and undo Walker's seatbelt, and it is absolutely taken down. This is just wild. But the flames and heat were too immense, and they had to be dragged away from the fireball by emergency services when they arrived on scene. Standing just yards from the crash scene in Santa Clarita, north of Los Angeles, a tearful Antonio told TMZ, "We got a phone call. Everyone did." Okay.
We heard the crash, we heard the explosion, and we got up here as quick as we could.
That part to me is interesting, okay? Because you guys saw the parade of cars going towards the car crash. I don't know how soon that was after they crashed into the pole and into the trees. But before I go into the statements, I want you guys to see this. Let me actually take off this highlight right here. They bolded a link right here. Mirror.co.uk bolded the link to the TMZ article. I'm going to open it in a new tab. And guess what? They removed the article. They took it down. Why? I can't even look at the archived version of this article because they deleted it completely. We got a phone call. Everyone did. This was, again, coming from the TMZ article. We heard that they may have been involved in a car wreck, and it was confirmed that they were trapped, so we jumped into the cars. As soon as I arrived, myself and other buddies, loved ones, friends, employees were there risking their own safety, and we were trying to, with extinguishers, to put out the flames. It was immense. He was trapped. I could see him. He was unconscious. The car was engulfed in flames. I couldn't see the driver. I could just see Paul in the passenger seat. I was just trying to put out the flames. As I was trying, his employees and brothers were also trying, and they were risking their lives trying to reach into the car and undo his seatbelt. I had to grab them, and we pulled each other off because we were all risking ourselves, something he would have done. Okay? Already, why does the first TMZ article say that the first responders, he punched a firefighter? We're told that sheriff's deputies put Newt and several others in custody. We chose a rabbit hole to go down today, okay? So we just read that the friends were put in custody, and this is a case report here of the accident. And it mentions nothing of that at all. You guys can pause this video to read this fully. I will leave enough time for you guys to just pause and read it if you'd like. But I also want to go down here to the informant witness statement. It does describe the accident, the license plate, the direction they were traveling down, what they think happened with the vehicle direction and the collision and all of that. Once again, pause this video, read it for yourself. There is no mention whatsoever of the friends being on scene, and you guys saw for yourself there was a photo of the friend being pulled out of the scene by a firefighter. So TMZ seems to be either irresponsible or something is just really off here, because TMZ is reporting these details that are not aligning with the report whatsoever. And I know, like I said, TMZ claims to have upper hand and exclusivity with these types of things with celebrities. But guys, I want you to read this for yourself, word for word. There is no mention of the friends being on this scene whatsoever or being detained and put in custody. I think that would be a pretty big thing to report. But again, information sources: Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, Santa Clarita. Now, I'm going to also say that there might be another portion of this report. This is pretty comprehensive. It's 15 pages. It also includes the autopsy and all of that. But I would believe that part of them being detained would be a part of the summary, but it is not. I will keep searching. I will keep looking. But as far as I can see, this form of the scene was not mentioned anywhere in the police report. Okay, when the fire department arrived, they tried to pull Paul's friends away. In this original cited article from TMZ, they're saying that we pulled each other off because we were all risking ourselves, something he would have done. So which one is it? The fire department or the friends pulled each other off? When the firefighters showed up, we were all out. There was at least 7 extinguishers on the ground. Firefighters had to restrain us. They put some of us into squad cars because we wouldn't leave the scene. We wouldn't stop trying to help. Now, the thing that I'm going to say is, you guys might want to go see that Reels TV episode, Collision Course, Paul Walker, because all of this is eerie looking back. It is absolutely eerie, and it actually has me shaken up a little bit reading through conflicting articles, although it is publicly available online. Abe did speculate a theory, experiencing those roads as a seasoned bus driver, about the road conditions that may have attributed to Roger losing control of the vehicle, a component of which attributes to a sewage drain on that part of the road, which is slightly elevated, creating a ramp-like effect, to which if Roger were going over 100 miles per hour, it would have sent them slightly airborne, thus sending them flying into said light post and spinning into the trees. But of course, even his speculation at this point still leads to mystery. Abe Rodriguez's statement is news to me. I wonder why this never made any media outlets. I mean, think about it. From a different angle, nobody ever reported on this. As well as if you go to his YouTube channel right now, which I'll link in my description below, you'll see that he uploaded this footage after the car crash, and you can even see it dated 8 years. Why is it that this just remained silent and it never made any sort of movement? It's so strange to me. It kind of looks to me that Abe was trying to get the word out there to no avail. Why is it that the media only showed us 2 angles that were obstructed? I mean, you saw all the cameras that they showed in that footage. There's plenty of angles that they could have chosen from, but only these were given to us. And to that, silence speaks loud volumes. I want to know why additional people did not come forward, especially if there was an additional parade of cars behind Roger Rodas and Paul Walker. What did each witness? That we don't know, but at least you know this detail. Guys, let me know, did you know this witness account existed out there regarding Paul Walker's crash? If you are as shook as I am about this new revelation, please let me know in the comments below. Also, shout out for my wardrobe. If you like any of my pieces that I am wearing in this video, you can check it out in my description below from reddingboutique.com. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for loving the channel. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, as well as tell somebody about it. Word of mouth is the best thing you can do, as well as boosting the algorithm by giving it a like and a comment. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.